what we want to do here is we want to educate you guys on the best way to level up your coffee game without, going and buying the world's best cup of coffee from Ovelle Coffee. We sell Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee, as I'm sure you're aware. There's also other ways besides spending a ton of money on contraptions and exotic coffee and things like that. You can grind your own coffee, and if you grind your own coffee, you're gonna have the best value for your coffee by keeping it fresh. By keeping your coffee fresh, you will preserve a lot of the flavor that's in your coffee. And if you like the ability to wake up and make a quick cup of coffee, maybe your kitchen or where you grind your coffee is close to your bedroom or to someone else's bedroom, and you don't want to use the loud coffee grinder. I've got some solutions for that too. But you really want to grind your coffee right before you brew it. You want to grind your coffee. It's pretty much within like 3 or 4 minutes of you actually putting the hot water on it. You want to have that coffee ground and not sitting any longer than 3 or 4 minutes. When people go to grade coffee, there are 2 different ways to grade the way it smells. There's a grading of the beans, where you would just have a cup of the beans and smell them, and you would give it a score based on that, and then you would actually grind the coffee. This is what someone who is SCA certified in cupping would do. They would grind the coffee and then give it another smell, and that is the best way to get your coffee to grade it. That's because there's this thing called a volatile organic compounds that break down. There's a number of them that are present. It's the same kind of compounds that you will get when you smell a lemon, citrusy compounds. There's also compounds that are in fruits, more sour fruits, cherries or plums. They also have volatile organic compounds. And the reason why they're called volatile organic compounds is because they're very volatile. That means that they break down fast. They break down very fast. There are 3 main things that will break down the compounds that you find in ground coffee. There is sunlight, water, and oxygen. So when you grind your coffee and you expose it to the oxygen, that's what's really going to degrade these organic compounds. When the bean is whole, it has less surface area, but when you grind it, you open up all of this new surface area. Hundreds and hundreds of times more surface area, and then immediately the oxygen starts to react with those chemical compounds and degrade them. And people say that the best is within 3 to 4 minutes, but even after 20 minutes, once you grind your coffee and you've let it sit for 20 minutes, you have something around 80 to 90% of those volatile organic compounds already degraded and really impacting your cup. So you want to make sure that you grind your coffee and you grind it right as soon as you're gonna use it. You will notice right away, if you use ground coffee, you're gonna notice right away that your coffee is gonna taste fresher, it's gonna taste better, it's gonna taste fruitier, it's gonna taste chocolatier, whatever the tasting notes are on your bag or your cup of coffee that you like, whether it's Sumatra, Colombian, Guatemalan, or Jamaican. it's gonna be way better, and you're gonna get way more flavor off it if you grind right before you brew. So make sure that you do you get ground coffee, or if you want to go to a Starbucks or a Dunkin' Donuts, they do grind their coffee fresh. So they do whole bean coffee, and they grind it right away to order. So you can do the same thing. You can level up your coffee game with the least expensive way is to just grind your coffee. So that being said, I'm going to show you guys a couple different ways you can grind coffee. There are two main ways, two main styles of grinders that you can use. The first one is called a blade grinder, and this is also commonly known as a spice grinder. It is called that way because it grinds coffee using blades. I'm going to walk around here. I've got a blade grinder right here. I'm going to walk around and I'm going to show you guys exactly what it looks like. It's also on your session guide, so if you have your session guide, but you see that blade right there. So that is a blade grinder. It's kind of obvious. It's a blade. It spins and it chops up whatever's in there. A lot of people use it for spice. You can buy these at like a Walmart or a Target. They're like $15. Okay, so this would be a really easy way. This is a way that I recommend if you don't want to invest a ton on a grinder. I would recommend this. The only drawback here is that you are not going to get an even grind size right away. It takes some learning, it takes some finesse, but you will be able to grind your coffee fresh. You'll be able to grind it fast, which is nice because they have other grinders that are manual. I'm sure you might have seen those if you've gotten into grinding your coffee. But so this will grind it electrically. It's an electric motor, so it grinds it fast. If you have one at home, you might notice that it doesn't come out as even as you might like. The way that I work around that is that I put some coffee in. I plug it in. Obviously, I have it running, and I give it a little shake. So I will grind for a couple seconds while I'm shaking it. Open it, see if it's the right consistency. Put it back in, and the less you grind, the better. So grinding for just 1 cup, and then grinding it again and shaking it. And you can hear when it's really started. When it first grinds, it's loud. It's grinding up the whole beans, and then as it gets finer and finer, it gets slightly softer. So you're going to want to find, after grinding coffee for a while, you'll probably be able to get it pretty consistent, pretty good with this. Of course, you kind of, you might wake up in the morning and be like, oh my God, what did I do last night? And you're just grinding it, and then it comes out like powder or whatever, So you do have to kind of put a little bit more effort into this one to get a consistent, good grind size. It is possible, but you won't find this in a commercial place or in a cafe. This is mostly just for people at home use blade grinders. So that is the blade grinder. It's a good way to level up your coffee game. I think you can get them on Amazon for even less, like $12. If you got Amazon Prime, it's probably free shipping. So you can get one of these sent to your house for like $12 to $15. Really good way to level up the coffee game. And then the next grinder that I have here, these two are Burr Grinders. So the blade grinder uses a blade. It chops right on through that coffee bean. The Burr Grinders use what is called a Burr method. So it's going to be two grinder pieces put together with the coffee in between. And you have a vertical grinder, which is going to be called a conical grinder. And then you have a flat grinder, which is just a flat burr grinder. I'll show you both of them, and there's kind of different pros and cons to each one. Always work with a local roaster. Like us, Ovelle Coffee, we are a local roaster here in Connecticut. So if you want to go ahead and grab some locally roasted beans, fresh, made to order, you can go on our website, ovellecoffee.com. And we're also going to have a couple more offerings for you. We've got some coffee from Yemen, which is one of the birthplaces of coffee. We've got some Ethiopian coffee coming. Also, we've got a new blend in the works. So, keep an eye out for that, and it'll be definitely fresh roasted, sent out to you right away.
Absolutely. And we also do have some other workshops coming up as well. So you will be able to see those different workshops in your session guide. You can also click the links there as well to go directly to that specific workshop if there's anything that interests you there. And again, as Ian said, feel free to check us out on all of our you can check us out online at ovellecoffee.com. You can check us out on all of our social media pages. We have Facebook. We also have Instagram, and we have YouTube. So on YouTube and Instagram, we're Ovelle Coffee. And then on Facebook, we're Ovelle Coffee Co. Yep. So that's just some places you can find us outside of ovellecoffee.com. Yep. Thank you guys so much for joining this workshop. And we really hope that you got all of the information that you needed to make the perfect cup of coffee at home, and utilizing the different grinders, the different brew methods, and talking a little bit all about the different grind sizes as well.